UFC 322 happened Saturday night. It is currently the Sunday night after it happened. I needed a day to recover before reacting to this and giving you guys my reaction to this card. I saw the entire main card when I got to the bar. I was at work for the early prelims. Saw some of the prelims when I was at work, and then some of them I was driving for, but I'll still react to the ones that I saw or rewatched at least. But we'll start at the top of the card, right? We'll start with the second, or I guess third worst title fight of the year. JDM versus Islam. Going into this, had JDM 48-40, or no, I had Islam 48-47, but maybe by like a split decision. After what we saw JDM do to Bilal, who is not, let me just say this, is not as good as Islam, but has a similar base to Islam. And after we saw JDM defend takedowns and grapple with Bilal and still piece him up on the feet, I was like, okay, maybe JDM could do that, but obviously Islam Makhachev is one of the greatest fighters of all time. If he's not top 3 on your GOAT list, I think there's something wrong. And maybe there's even an argument that he's the greatest fighter of all time. Maybe there's an argument. We'll get to this. First round. They're standing on the feet for a minute. They look pretty even on the feet. JDM blitzes them in the first 10 seconds. He just blitzes them. And I'm like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. As a UFC fan would do. I'm sitting here, I got my nachos, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Anyways, JDM looks really confident. And then Islam shot a takedown. Nasty takedown. Took him down. And JDM just didn't even try and get out. He was just sitting there. And I'm like, all right. Like, me and my boys were like, okay, wash this round. Okay, that's fine. Stand back up for round 2 and get back to it. Stuff a takedown and get back to it. They're on the feet, and JDM looks noticeably scared. Like, of a takedown. So he's not throwing as much. And then Islam takes him down again. And JDM doesn't do anything about it. And then third round happens, and it's the same thing. And the fourth round happens, and it's the same thing. And the fifth round happens, and it's the same thing. JDM had nothing for Islam on the ground. Like, there was not a single moment throughout this fight where JDM had a chance at getting out from under Islam's half guard. There was not a moment in this fight where he was getting up. And throughout this fight, you noticed when he was walking out to his great walkout, he's mean mugging. He's walking out, he's like, And then by the fifth round, his face starts to go, like he's crying. Like he was crying. Like he was crying in the octagon as a champion. Like he gave up after the second round. He was literally crying. It was crazy. Fifth round starts and they both have full tanks because no one dealt any damage here. Like 30 significant strikes from Islam, and he was just sitting there on the ground. And I can't hate on him because he wanted a belt. As a fan, I'm like, this really sucked. This was a terrible fight, but I can't hate on the fighter for doing it. He just sat there like shouldering him on the ground. Like that's probably where his 140 strikes came from. Anyways, next up for Islam. If I were him, I'd call it Kamaru Usman. Although I think this Ilia Topuria fight has to happen. JDM, 170 is a crazy spot right now. I don't see him beating anyone in the top 5. I would probably go JDM Carlos Prates. I think that'd be a really exciting fight. But I think Carlos Prates gets the job done. And if you don't want to feed JDM to Carlos Prates, maybe Sean Brady. That'd be a good fight. Winner gets back into title contention. But yeah, JDM, like I feel bad because I don't see a route back to the title for him. Moving on to the women's flyweight division, we'll keep it short and sweet. I thought Valentina Shevchenko was going to 49-46. Weili Zhang, 50-45. I just thought she was way too strong. She was a former women's bantamweight and arguably the GOAT of WMMA. She was just too strong for her. Weili Zhang, like, it felt like similar to JDM. She had nothing for her. Like, Weili Zhang just sat there for, like, minutes at a time, just going, Like, literally. Just, like... And I was like, oh. Like, dude, Tina's going to fucking head kick you into oblivion. Didn't happen. She just took her down. There was a nasty, almost spinning elbow after Weili Zhang was doing this. But, I mean, there was nothing really going on here. I didn't think this was a boring fight, contrary to popular belief. This was very high level. And next up for Weili Zhang, I think she should go back down to fight Mackenzie Dern. And for Shev, I mean, what's going on with Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes, right? What's going on there? I think Shev should go up and fight for another belt. I think she deserves it. Going on to welterweight, if I'm Islam Makhachev, I am like begging for Kamaru Usman. I'm begging for him. I picked Sean Brady by sub, and Michael Morales, like, he is Ilia Topuria at 170. It's inevitable that this guy's going to be the best fighter in the UFC. So Sean Brady was on pace to 50-42 Leon Edwards. And we know how good Leon Edwards is. We'll talk about that. I know what you're going to say. We'll talk about it. Michael Morales won every single second of this fight. And Sean Brady shot a takedown where he's so dominant on the ground. He's arguably the best grappler at 170. And Michael Morales did one of these. Like, he just dropped his hands to defend the takedown. And Michael Morales stunned him like 3 times. After the first one, I'm like, oh, this isn't getting out of the first round. Like, Michael Morales is 6'3". Sean Brady's 5'7". I'm just joking about that. That's an exaggeration. Michael Morales is actually 6'2". Like, there is a 5 to 6 inch height advantage here, which is huge. Like, 5-6 inches, fucking massive. Massive. Sean Brady, I would probably say fight the loser of Ian Garry and Bilal Muhammad. I think regardless, those are good fights. I'd be really interested in Sean Brady, Ian Garry. Although I think if Ian Garry beats Bilal, he should be next in line for the title fight. And Michael Morales, maybe fight one more time. But I think you've proved your worth. You should be fighting for the title. And I think his next fight, he is the UFC welterweight champion. And I think that Michael Morales has the best chance at beating Khamzat Chimaev in the UFC currently. And I would probably go Michael Morales. I'm very high on Michael Morales. This was an unreal performance by him. He's 19-0. He gets guys out of there. He's huge. He's got good takedown defense. He's a bad man. And speaking of bad mans, so something I'll establish here is Leon Edwards is one of my favorite fighters. I had Leon going into this 29-28. I thought after we saw what Ian Garry could do, Leon Edwards could do something similar. And he did that in the first round. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, Leon, like, here you go. And Carlos Prates reminded everyone how he's got the most freakish power in the UFC. He has the strongest death touch in the UFC. Prates hit Leon once. Like, clean once. And it was that straight that fucking put him out. Put Leon out on his ass. And the way he fell, I was like, oh. Like, I sat there at the table with my boys and my girlfriend. I was like this. Hold on, let me bring us down a little bit. I sat there like this for like 3 minutes. I was like, oh my God. How good is Ian Garry? How good is Ian Machado Garry? Carlos Prates, incompetent on the ground. He has 0 ground game, and if he fights Islam, he is losing the same way that JDM lost. Although Carlos Prates has a better chance because he does have the death touch. If they're on the feet for 10 seconds, there's always a shot that he's going to knock him out. First time Leon Edwards has ever been knocked out. I think first time he's ever been knocked down. I think the most trouble Leon Edwards has ever been in was when Nate Diaz stunned him, and Carlos Prates hit him with a straight and put him out cold. Next fight for Leon Edwards. People are talking about Jorge Masvidal. I think that's extremely disrespectful. I would probably go Leon versus Buckley, and I'd lean Leon. I think there's still some in the tank for him, but there's just no path back to the title for him. 170 is the craziest division out there right now. There's no path back to the title for him unless he tries to go up to 185, where obviously if he got to the title, he would lose because it's Hamzat. Carlos Prates probably should fight JDM. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a title shot. 170 is crazy. And if not JDM or a title shot, I'd give him to oh my god, I'd do Shavkat Rakhmonov, and I'd lean Carlos Prates. And if it's a main event, especially like a fight night, like 25 minutes is a long time to be in there with Carlos Prates. And my mouse has died. There we go. And I'd go Carlos Prates by knockout. Benoit Saint-Denis, man. What else is there to say? First off, why is Beneil Dariush complaining about that stoppage? Why is he up like he didn't just face plant into the canvas? Like, dude was out? Anyway, sorry. Benoit Saint-Denis had him to win this 30-27, I think. He's just an absolute marauder. Very good on the ground. His striking isn't fantastic. People say it's slow, which fair, I understand. But this man has a lot of power. A lot of power. So, I mean, you hit him with an uppercut like that, you know, I don't really blame Dariush for going down to that. I'd probably die if Benoit Saint-Denis hit me with that, and we're the same weight. But yeah, Benoit Saint-Denis calls out for the BMF. He's not getting a shot at that. Rufus, Justin Gaethje. By the way, Benoit Saint-Denis, you know, he was special ops in the French military, and when he lived in France. There is a big difference between someone who has trained mixed martial arts for 20 years and a dude has been training, I don't know exactly how long Benoit Saint-Denis has been training for, like 10 years. So there's a big difference between someone who's trained for 20 years and a dude has trained for 10 years and has killed people. This guy has been in war fields. He's been in battlefields. This guy has killed people. He's seen people die. There's a different animal in Benoit Saint-Denis, and I think that one day he'll challenge for a title. I think he beats Justin Gaethje. I think he knocks his ass out. But Justin Rufus Gaethje, retire. Just retire, dude. Like, I just retire. Because you're either losing to Ilya, you're getting knocked out cold by Ilya, or you might lose a decision to Benoit Saint-Denis. On to the prelims. We'll start with the ones I watched. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Ethan Ewing. I went Malcolm Wellmaker by 29-28. I saw a Twitter thread when Ethan Ewing was announced as a short notice opponent, like 48 hours before. And some of the hardcores were like, yeah, he's a stud on the regional scene. He's won 9 in a row. Great chin, has knockout power. But Malcolm Wellmaker, like, he was 10-0 going into this. 30-year-old prospect. Is he 31 or is he? Can I even see this? Whatever. I don't really want to. But it looked like he had pillows going into this, or throughout this fight. It looked like he had pillows. One of the judges, probably Sal Diamano, right? Had a 30-27. I had a 29-28. But I was watching a lacrosse game at the same time, so maybe it was 30-27. This was fight of the night. These guys were just throwing bombs at each other, and no one was really moving. Kudos to Malcolm Wellmaker, one of the most gracious fighters in the UFC. This is not a fraud check. This is stock up on Ethan Ewing, who is a great addition to the featherweight group. Both these guys will be ranked fighters. probably by the end of next year. And great fight. The fact that there was no fight of the night bonus handed out is kind of BS. Yeah, for these guys, I don't know. Like, I don't think either of these guys are getting a ranked opponent next. But Dana White should be really happy with this fight. Didn't catch any of this. Tracy Cortez, my girl. Damn. Didn't catch any of this. I had G-Rod 29-28. I think everyone had it 30-27. And maybe one 29-28. I'd have to double check. I think I saw it 2:30-27. 1:29-28. For a guy who entered the Paulo Costa fight a favorite when Paulo Costa smoked him, I mean, Roman Kopulov's out of the rankings. So, oh, you know what? Actually, you know what? Hang on. Let me cook for a moment. I don't usually look at matchmaking for prelims and early prelims just because I don't really care. It could be anyone. Bo Nickel versus Roman Kopylov? Is that a cook fest? Did I cook? That might be a cook fest. That'd be a good test for Bo Nickel, a dude who's been in the rankings consistently. Somebody who was very highly touted. Anyways, Bo Nickel, Rodolfo Vieira. I had Bo Nickel taking this one 30-27. Vieira, great on the ground. Fantastic BJJ. I didn't see this fight. I was driving. My friend said Bo Nickel did really well on the ground. And then obviously that knockout, which was very, very good. Not a piece of art. I wouldn't call it a piece of art, even though it was like a, just head kick and you're done type of thing. Leg wasn't straight. My friend compared this to the Leon Edwards head kick. Just wasn't. Leon Edwards had a beautiful head kick. This was a very good head kick, but then Bo Nickel started running around. He was like, yeah, not really any aura. Him flipping off the fans was super aura. I'm a big believer in Bo Nickel. He's not the guy to beat Hamzat, but I think he's going to be a top 10 fighter at middleweight for a long time. And obviously now he's kind of doing a heel turn, which is kind of cool. I'd like to see him in a fight night feature fight or a co-main versus maybe Roman Kopylov. That'd be a really good fight. I like that a lot. And I don't think I caught any of the prelims. I did see GM3 was paid like $300,000 for being on the early prelims. Like, get out of here. Oh, I caught some of this fight. I wasn't super familiar with dudes. Pat Sabatini, was he? I feel like he got pieced up in maybe the first round. Someone was bleeding bad. I think it was Pat. But I guess he pulled it out. I didn't catch the rest of this fight. And Susu, did he got kicked in the nuts by Khalil Roundtree Jr.? Or I guess Khalil Roundtree is actually Khalil Roundtree Jr. Whoever, I have no idea who this guy is, but he looked like Khalil Roundtree. And I guess Susu got kicked in the nuts and Joe Rogan started talking about the metal tie cups. I didn't see a lot of this, and I definitely didn't have the volume on. I like Joe Rogan. I'm one of those guys that likes Joe Rogan. But come on, let's be for real, dude. You think someone's going to break their foot on a tie cup? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Face cam. Kind of aura. I don't know. Is it aura or not? Anyways, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. And, yeah, we'll see you in the next one.